Good morning, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of the Burnt Water Podcast. It is 6:03 a.m. on a lovely Thursday morning. How are you doing? I decided I'm going to start every episode I can with gratitude. So if you hear my voice and you are with me, I want all of us to say thank you. Thank you to our Creator. Thank you to the world we live in and our loved ones around us. All of us are in this together. We get nothing and nowhere without gratitude. So thank you very much for being here with me today, and let's get started. So I don't know if any of you know this or not, but I've been on this low key health journey trying to lose some weight. I've struggled with my weight my entire life, and it's always been up and down. I lose 20 pounds, I gain 20 pounds. I lose 30 pounds, I gain 50 pounds, and I go through these like bouts of functional depression, as what I usually call it, where I don't feel like I'm depressed. I don't feel sad or anxious or upset, but I'm not happy, and I am struggling to come to terms with the way I feel. But when I go through those motions, those moments, I realize that I am supplementing all of my emotions with food. Now, I am an emotional eater to begin with. Every emotion I feel, it makes me want to eat. It doesn't mean I'm hungry. I'm not saying that. It's not tied to hunger. It's just tied to a sense of fulfillment. So when I'm happy, I want to get something to eat. If I'm excited, if I'm scared, if I'm watching a movie, like I want to have something to chew on, something to do with my hands. And when you combine that with the functional depression, you find that I will, yeah, I'll go to work and I'll go through the motions and I'm happy and I'll have a good day. But then I'll stop and get food on the way home. Even though knowing we're going to make dinner, we're going to go out to dinner, I'd stop and get like a burger from a fast food restaurant. And then, boom, there's 800 calories. And then we go get dinner and then, boom, there's 2,000 calories. And like, once in a great while wouldn't be such a big deal. But if you do it 5, 6 times a week or even 3 times a week, that's an extra few thousand calories that you don't need. And so you start putting on the weight. I start packing on the pounds. I'll gain a pound a week. Well, 4 pounds a month may not seem like a lot, but when you could do this for 10, 12 months at a time, you gain 50 pounds. And that's kind of the battle I've been waging most of my life. So the last month or so, I've been no carb in it. I've taken 1 or 2 cheat days where we were at family functions, and it was out of the ordinary food, like things that I might only get once a year. So I indulged. A friend of mine's a phenomenal baker. She makes amazing stuff. She made this blueberry lemon pound cake for her niece's birthday. So yeah, yes, I had a piece. And to be honest, I used to feel guilty about cheat days, but if I go 6 days and abstain from all extra calories and eat healthy and good portions, and I have something a little indulgent 1 day a week, it's a lot better than what my normal was. So I've been doing this about a month now, and I always forget how good I feel. And it's a combination of 2 or 3 things. We'll start with the emotional side. When I'm not taking in carbs and starch, um, after my body gets into ketosis and it kind of gets past the cravings, and because for a little while it's an addiction to sugar, so you do crave it. Um, my mood lifts. I feel upbeat and positive, and after about a week, my brain starts to honestly work better. I'm sharper. I have faster thoughts, and I have a lot more clarity. And then comes the weight loss. Then, after been doing this a week, you start to realize that you're losing a little bit of weight. Not a ton of weight. It's not just going to fall off you, but you start to lose a little bit. You'll start to see it in your face first because it's one of the leanest parts of your body. And then you'll realize, oh, wow, my feet don't hurt as bad. You'll notice your inflammation going down because you're not taking in so much wheat and gluten. And like for me, it's never been a thought, oh God, I can't have gluten because because it doesn't hurt me. I can eat wheat as much as I want. I don't get sick from it, but I do get inflammation in my joints, and I don't realize it until I don't have it. So I'm at the month mark, like with maybe said 1 or 2 cheat days, and I feel honestly on top of the world. I feel so good, and I can tell you that I haven't been on a scale since well before I started this again. But the last time I was on a scale was 480 pounds, and I'm 5 foot 9, if anyone's wondering, and I've got a fairly broad build in terms of my shoulders and my barrel chested and stuff. So I've growing up carrying it well, but make no mistake, I'm 5'9", almost 500 pounds. It's 480 is a lot of weight. It's a lot of extra bowling balls. And so I'm fairly rotund. I'm round. I got a giant stomach and a big butt. And sometimes it's hard to get around, but I've been doing this now for a month, and I'm starting to lose a little bit of weight in places that make it easier for movement. So wiping my butt's easier. Not that you asked, but boom, there you go. It's easier to wash. It's easier for me to go to the bathroom. Like, there are little things I'm noticing that are definitely an improvement. So I'm super thankful. And the only reason I even talk about this here is because in my chosen profession of food service as a chef, it is often that I am on my feet all day long, and I'm lifting pots and pans and hot boxes. And if you don't know what a hot box is, it is a large, same technology as a cooler. It's a large insulated box with handles on top that you put pans of hot food in. And there's a door that locks shut, and as long as it's nice and full and the food is hot, it'll keep the hot temperature for 4 hours minimum. Now, I have ones that last way longer, but 4 is the safe number. And they're fantastic. Just think of a cooler, but for hot food. Same basic premise. And it's great. They're fantastic. I love having them, but they're heavy and they're cumbersome, and sometimes they're hard to move around. And as I've been on this new weight loss journey, things are getting easier again. So I can pick up a hot box. I can help my staff take it to events. When we're in the kitchen, I can pick up a pot of water. I'm not out of breath all the time. And I'll tell you, there's nothing more embarrassing than being a chef and not wanting to do certain tasks because physically it's a struggle. I don't believe in having people do things for me because I don't want or can't do them. I usually have my staff help me with things because I just simply have too much going on, and they know as well as I do that I would do it if I could. So when I have someone like a dishwasher say, hey, come get this for me, and I just look like the old fool, like the crazy old guy that's too out of shape, and I don't like that. I'm not that old. I'm 38 years old. I'm way too young to not be the most badass guy in the kitchen. So this weight loss journey's been fun, and I've been feeling amazing from it. I'm seeing good results, and I hope that I can keep at it, because if I can keep this going, I'll be a much healthier person. I'll be a better boss. I'll be a better husband, a better father to my kids. And my mood is just far superior to what it has been in a long time. There's almost no depression. Yes, I have moments of sadness. Yes, bad things happen. Yes, I get reminiscent and nostalgic for things that I don't have anymore. But I'm not depressed. I can honestly say when someone's like, hey man, how you doing? I'm like, I am great. Like, I feel awesome. I feel so good. I feel like my 20s, just a little fatter and grayer. And, emphasis on the grayer, because I am looking my age for sure. But I do feel so good. So I am hoping to keep this up. If anyone does hear this and you guys have any health tips, any ideas, things that you do to help you lose weight or diet, feel free to hit me up. I would love to hear what you have going on. I know we're all in this together. I'm not the only one that struggles with weight and health. So I think that as long as we're trying to go forward and we wake up every day and we're gracious for what we have and the benefits of getting new opportunities every day, I think we'll all work out. I have a big believer that you get back out of the universe what you put into it, and that as long as you're trying your hardest and you put good energy into the world, it comes back. And I am trying so hard every day to wake up with a great mindset and to force the universe to be a better place for me, because I am going to make sure it's a better place for other people. How's everyone doing? Are we still together? All right, let's go on to the recap. So, this past weekend was a rather lighthearted, simple weekend. It wasn't too difficult. We didn't have a ton of catering. Normally, on any perspective, Saturday or Sunday, and this time of the year, we're really busy. But for somehow, I don't know how weekend fell through the cracks, where we had almost nothing going on. I had a very small drop off for a local wedding here, about 10 minutes away, and that was it. So no full service, no staff, no headaches, no big food orders, just easy peasy pasta squeezy. So I did the pasta, we dropped it off, and then I met my buddy for a movie. Jaws is on a 50th anniversary theater run, and so him and I agreed to go see it. It is my favorite movie of all time. I love it very much. and we enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. I went to see a concert. There was it's called the Roots and Boots tour. It's three country artists: Aaron Tippin, Sammy Kershaw, and Colin Ray. Did this trio concert where they each do a couple songs and switch off and do music together and whatnot. And it was a really cool format. We enjoyed it. My wife and I had a great time. I was at a casino up here, so we went up there, watched it, had a good time. One of those deals where you bring your own chair, so it was all open seating. You could walk around, have a great time. It was fun. And to be honest, it was almost perfect because it started at like 7 o'clock, and I was terrified that it was going to be like a full set from each one, and we wouldn't get out of there till 11. But because of the format, it was about an hour and a half. So 8:30, like we were done. We gambled for about half an hour, and then we headed home. And I was in bed before midnight. So I'll tell you what, for when you're as old as I am, that's a benefit. I don't have it in me to stay up late anymore. It's just too difficult. I'm too old. I don't bounce back in the mornings so well. It's not easy. I try to get up every day at a decent hour, but as of right now, like today, a Thursday, the only reason I'm up this early and out of bed and chipper and showered and clean and smooth is because I had a truck delivery for my food distributor. So I got here this morning a little after 5, greeted the truck, put my stock away, and decided I'd come in here and knock this bad devil out and say hi to you beautiful folks while I was awake and alive. Instead of coming in here and like, hey, man, man. No, I am banging on all cylinders, baby. And I'm excited because this weekend we have our bridal sampling. It's our fall bridal sampling, and we've been doing this since 2021. So an average of a 3 a year. So this is our 15th one, give or take. It may not be exactly the 15th, but I'm super pumped, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have good food, good friends, good family, some wonderful clients coming in. We're gonna have a good time. I am looking forward to it. I also have a wedding on Sunday we're doing at Lakeview Banquet Center over in Langsburg. It is a beautiful, beautiful venue. It used to be a restaurant back in the old days. Now it's a wedding venue. It's got these massive windows that look up over this man-made lake, and it is one of the most stunning things you could see this time of year. I really enjoy the ambiance there. Plus, because it started off as a restaurant, it has a beautiful commercial kitchen space that we get to work out of. Oftentimes, as a caterer, when you go to a venue, more often than not, they don't have any type of space for you to work in. They'll be like, "Oh, this is your prep area, and it's a closet, or it's like a kitchenette. So there's a sink and a fridge. It's like their break room, effectively, and there's no room to actually do much of anything." So I'm really pumped that this is a place that has a wonderful wedding prepared kitchen. It's fantastic. I love it. One of the best things about the catering world, the hospitality industry, is that you get to meet so many amazing individuals. Some people work with you, some people work for you, and you never know when you're going to meet a kindred spirit, because there's people from all walks of life that come into this industry for, I call it moonlighting. They need to make extra money. Christmas is coming, birthday's coming, they're paying off a debt, so they come in and work a couple days a month, make a few $100 and move out. And then there's some of us that are just in it. We're in it to win it. We're in it forever. It's what we know how to do. And I love meeting the people that are in it because they love to be in it. Now, from my perspective, even if I wasn't a chef, I'd probably still be doing something like this. Not the food aspect, maybe, but I love to serve people. And I love to see that look on their face when everything is going right and everything is perfect, and you will play a part in that. It makes my heart so full. And there's a moment, I've said this before, if you've ever heard me talk about weddings, you know what I'm talking about. There's a moment, as soon as people are all seated with their meal, and the dining room is not quiet, but it's not loud, there's just a buzz. There's people chatting while they eat, lots of happy forks hitting those plates, and smiles and laughter, and the inevitable tink 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 of the guests that want the bride and groom to kiss. I love that moment because it's like no matter what happens in this world, no matter what you're going through, what you're dealing with, what all of us are dealing with, because we all have our own lives that are chaotic and crazy and unpredictable. In that moment, it's perfect. And you can't steal moments like that. You can only be lucky enough and hope to be there when they happen. And hopefully you understand how wonderful and how fleeting they are, because that in that moment everything else just dissolves and goes away. Nothing matters. You're getting divorced, doesn't matter. You're fighting with your brother, it doesn't matter. If someone just passed away, it doesn't matter. And not to say those things aren't important, they're just in that moment. All you think about is, wow, this is beautiful, and I'm lucky to be here. And that's my favorite thing about weddings. I love that moment. And there's other moments similar to that. There's all different things that you experience in life that are just, the pinnacle of sophistication and love in that situation. Standing ovation at a performance. You go to a show, everyone enjoys it. Of course, they're clapping and stuff. And then at the end of it, the crowd stands up and cheers and hoots and hollers. And for the performer, that's that moment. They did everything right. They did everything they were supposed to do. They fulfilled the end of the bargain, and everyone is happy. They are thankful. They are gracious, and they want to show the way they feel with, what do they have? They have their hands and their mouths, and they're going to cheer, and they're going to clap, and they're going to stomp their feet, and they're going to use their body in every way they can to say thank you for taking time out of your life to make my life better. Because that's really what this is, In the service industry or in the entertainment industry, we exist to help other people. We are here to serve them and to make their lives better and easier to deal with, because maybe something inside of us is a little broken and needs to do that so we feel a little bit healed. We feel a little fixed. Maybe not. But I know for me, I've always had, doubts and issues and things that bothered me, that made me feel less than as a man, as a person. And I know that when I'm helping others, that doesn't hurt so bad. That little voice isn't so loud. I can go and I can provide a service to someone else, and it makes me feel good to know that I'm helping them. A lot of times I don't need thanks from it. I don't need you to even know that I did it outside of, the wedding stuff it's a job. We started the company so we could earn a living and we could work for ourselves instead of working for someone else. But there's lots of things in life that I do just because I think they need to be done. I don't need to be told thank you for it. Like, I don't do things for other people. I do it for me. I do it because it needs to be done, and that makes me feel good to know that it's done. And it's the same way that I do little things for my kids that they may not realize yet, but I don't need them to thank me. They're my children. I love them more than anything in the world. And I'm just going to do things for them because they're my children. And it makes me feel good to know that I'm doing my part as their dad. They are my kids. It is my job to be their dad, and it's the greatest gift I've ever been given. And I will never, never think otherwise. Like I started with, it all comes back to gratitude. Be grateful for what you have and the role that you play in other people's lives. You may not be having a good day. You may not be having a bad day. You may just be having a day in general. You're just going through the motions. Maybe you're having a Monday on a Wednesday. Maybe you're having a Monday on a Tuesday. Maybe you're having a Monday every day of the week. But just be grateful for the role you play in other people's lives, because you may not realize the impact you're having just by being you. Even if you feel like you're failing and you are going through the motions, to someone else, you look like you're succeeding, you're striding, you're fighting a fight that they may not feel they're tough enough, or maybe they feel like they're losing, but your constant perseverance is serving as inspiration for them. So be grateful, be compassionate, be kind, and live life with intention. I think that's something we could all do better at. I know I'm trying. Thank you if you've made it this far. I appreciate you. And I will talk to you next time on the next episode of the Burnt and Water Podcast. I'm Chef Nick. Have a great day.